Hi there, welcome to Manage Better, your channel for ideas and practices to help you manage better at work and in life. Today, we will be dealing with a very important topic that all of us are affected by every day: communication. Whether it is at work, with friends, or even with families, communication is the cornerstone of our relationship. It is more often than not the make or break element in our relationship. In this video, I will also discuss in brief a fantastic new book by Charles Duhigg called SuperCommunicators. Coming back to communication, think about it. Poor communication can lead to misunderstandings, conflicts, and even lost opportunities. On the other hand, effective communication can build strong relationships, boost productivity, and help all of us achieve our goals. Let us look at three common workplace situations which are affected due to poor communication. Number one, missed deadlines and project delays. When team members don't clearly understand their roles, responsibilities, or timelines, it can lead to missed opportunities and of course, project delays. Number two, conflicts and misunderstandings. Poor communication can create misunderstandings and conflicts between colleagues, leading to a negative work environment. Very often, the negative, toxic work environment that you refer to is a result of either one or a series of misunderstandings and conflicts which emerge from poor communication. Three, low morale and decreased productivity. When employees feel confused or left out due to poor communication, it can lead to very low morale and decreased productivity. There is nothing more demotivating for an employee to be left out of a communication or a conversation, and people are really hurt when this. In comes the book Super Communicator that I spoke about briefly. Super Communicators by Charles Duhigg is a game changer for anyone who wants to improve their communication. Duhigg is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist who gets deep into science and brings out insights that we normally may not have. His earlier very popular book on habits, The Power of Habit, was a bestseller and became almost the prequel to the popular book Atomic Habits by James Clear. What I have done after reading the book, I have pulled out 10 key points from this book. Right? Of course, the book has many stories, anecdotes, principles, concepts, experiences, which I strongly recommend that you should read to get the full idea that the author is trying to share. But like I always do, I try and bring some summarized content for you and leave it for your wisdom to read the book. Point number one, types of conversation. There are three main types of conversations. Duhigg says that the types of conversations are practical, emotional, and social. Knowing which one you are in helps you communicate more effectively. Number two, matching the right conversation. So it is important to choose the right type of conversation for the situation. For example, a work meeting might call for a more practical conversation, and a personal chat may require more emotional conversation. So if you mix the emotional conversation into a practical one, you are not likely to get anywhere. Of course, in some exceptional situations, you might have to do this. But the author suggests that please be very aware of your style and the context in the situation and use style of conversation accordingly. So practical, emotional, and social. Number three, active listening. I don't have to repeat this. You already know how important active listening is. Really pay attention to what the other person is saying. Don't just wait for your talk. Rewind your day to day and you will remember several instances where when the other person was talking, you were actually thinking what you should say. If this video was a conversation, you might be already thinking of what to say, right? Which of course cannot happen right now, but you get the point. Number four, emotional intelligence. Understanding and managing your own emotions as well as recognizing and responding to the emotions of others is crucial. If you don't understand your own emotional state, don't understand the emotional state of the receiver, you are likely to make huge mistakes. People are sometimes very worried, agitated about something, and maybe it is not the right time to even talk to them. And you go update on a report or something else, it is going to bomb, right? So please be very aware of such situations and then act accordingly. Number five, storytelling. Stories can be powerful tools for connecting with people and making your message more memorable. Stories are not used for storytelling as such. They are used to connect a concept to a situation where it becomes a little bit more memorable and easy to understand, and people remember the story and connect. Oh, Anshuman talked about communication and he shared a story about a person in an office, and all that kind of. You are likely to remember that story a lot more than the concept. Number 6, authority. While authority can be helpful, it is important to use it wisely and ethically. Don't overplay your authority. Particularly when you are the manager, you are already the manager. So what are you pushing your authority for? Right? People know that you are the manager. Your word will be the final word. Don't overplay it all the time. Not very nice for your team members. Number 7, groupthink. Be aware of groupthink, where everyone is agreeing just to avoid conflict. This is a very, very common situation in large corporations where everyone is agreeing just to avoid conflict. Groupthink should be used to encourage diverse perspective and challenge assumptions, and not to agree and just move on. Number 8, persuasion. Learn the art of persuasion to influence others effectively, because eventually, if you are to get some work done, you will have to convince the other person that this is the right thing to do, and then only they can go ahead and do it. Of course, in some extreme situations, you might have to instruct somebody, but in normal work situations, you have to persuade and influence your team members. Number 9, empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes to understand their feelings and build stronger relationships. Empathy is extremely important. If somebody is having a low day and you go asking for an update on a report, which could be done tomorrow as well, what is the respect that you are going to earn in that conversation? You might get the report, but you will lose your respect. Number 10, culture. Be mindful of cultural differences that can affect communication styles. Particularly in large global teams, it is extremely important to understand the cultural context from where the person is coming. Some cultures are a little louder by nature, some are a little quieter by nature, softer by nature, more polite, more aggressive, use more words, use less words, and so on, use more body language, everything, all kinds of. And don't see this as generalization or stereotyping. There are some cultural differences which may not be in 100% of that population, but it are in majority of the population. So it will help you if you understand that culture. That will help you to communicate. A good practice that I follow is that I try and look at the message and not the messenger. So there you are, 10 key points from the book Super Communicators. According to Duhigg, people who can adopt these styles and do all of this are often super communicators in a office situation, and you can always see those people around you. They communicate really well and always seem to land their messages very well. Remember, effective communication is a skill that can be learned with some practice. I always remind people that communication is not about what you wanted to launch, it is about what lands. Now, all this is fine. You might think that, Anshuman, these 10 points are fine. What can I do today to improve my communication? So here are 3 tips, which I derived from these 10. First one, practice active listening. Really, really practice active listening. Number 2, pay attention to other people's and your own emotional intelligence. Number 3, try using storytelling to convey message. By putting all these 3 tips on in your daily practice, you will get better, and then eventually you can work on even more areas and become a super communicator. I'm on my way, and I hope I'm getting better. If you've been watching till this far, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe if you of course like this video. And there are a few others in this series where I'm bringing career related topics for your benefit. And if you have a topic that you want me to share my views on, please share that as well. And till the next video, manage better. Thank you.